Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode 2 of Pretty Little Lattes. Today we're talking about throwback games, so like our childhood games.
Yeah, all the fun stuff. Way back when, years, decades ago, right?
Long
Yeah,
time ago.
so we were talking about childhood games kind of the other day. Well, actually, what kind of gave me the idea of doing this was I saw this trend going on Twitter, and it was like people posting like these 4 photos of like an old game they used to play, and they were like, I grew up here, and then it would just kind of show like a throwback game, and that's just kind of what gave me the idea. Honestly, we talk about throwback games, just you and me, like all the time.
All the time.
Yeah,
Well,
so I give you so much crap for it because when we talk about throwback games, there always ends up being sissies did something wrong.
the thing is, we're sisters, so we share childhood games.
Oh,
And,
yeah.
well, some of them we don't share.
Oh, well, yeah, that's true. But,
Like
like,
KOTOR, you were into KOTOR
mhm,
when you were super young. I didn't get into it until you forced me to play it a few years ago.
yeah. So,
Or like
for
1 year
those
ago.
who don't know, KOTOR is Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic. We call it KOTOR for short because, God, that's one hell of a title. But yeah, for me, that's definitely probably like, overall, that's my favorite game of all time still. I still play it. I've played it probably over like 10 plus times. But when I think of like my major childhood game, I would say that. I remember one time I was like really sick. Well, not really sick. Maybe it was, I don't know. I had to stay home from school. And I remember I was like pretty young to the point where it's like I couldn't read subtitles really quickly on the screen. And so my dad had just gotten the game. So I don't even know what year it came out. I should probably look it up. But we were like hanging out in his room and he was playing KOTOR and I was just sitting there with Sprite and Cheez-Its and I was watching him play KOTOR and it was literally like one of my favorite childhood memories was that. And so I don't know if that was like because it was Star Wars because I'm a huge Star Wars fan, or what, or just hanging out, maybe being able to skip school because I was sick. But that's like my favorite throwback game. And yeah, Sissy recently played it maybe a year ago?
It was like a year ago. She's been trying to get me to play it for years, and I'm just like, because, you look at the graphics, and it doesn't really hold up to today's standards, and so I'm just like, oh, I don't want to play this.
I know.
But she finally forced me to actually sit down and play it for longer than, like, 30 minutes, and it was really fun, actually. I really enjoyed it. I did start playing the second one, but I only got, like, halfway through it. I think, like,
You
life
didn't even make
started
halfway.
happening.
You did
I
not
didn't, like,
make it
abandon
halfway.
it. I didn't make it halfway.
You got off like the first planet, and then you were like, I'm gonna play something else. You were like really wanting to get us into Epic Mickey 2, and like your whole mind went straight to Epic Mickey 2. Oh, I mean, like, I have to say, personally, like, what everyone says about KOTOR in general, like the series of the 2 original games, I personally love 1 way better than 2 because I love like the storyline within it, but everyone says the writing in the second one's better. So I figured you would possibly like the second one better because of like the story, the multiple like plots within it. So I still think you should definitely play it, Sissy, because I think you would like it for sure.
I do want to play it. I didn't abandon it because I was bored. Just like life started happening, and then I just kind of forgot about it. But yeah, I do need to pick it back up again.
Yeah, but like, and other things I think of childhood games. I'm trying to think of other ones. A lot of them were online games, like Club Penguin and Toontown. Yes, Toontown.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yes.
you were always like, I was obsessed as a kid, and then you got major obsessed, and like longer than I did with Toontown.
You were pretty obsessed with Club Penguin. I was super obsessed with Toontown. I used to play that game all the time.
Should we tell them what happened to my poor ginger bagel muffin? Back when the game like originally first came out and you couldn't like type in a name and you had to like use this weird scrolly thing, I made a character named Ginger Bagel Muffin, right? Ginger Bagel Muffin was everything to me. It's a brown pig who is really tall and had cute outfits. But I like leveled her up like freaking crazy, you know? And I literally had to defeat, what are they, like bogs or what are the
Bots.
things that
Sell, like there's
bots?
sell bots and cash bots and boss bots and
so they're bots?
They're bots.
Okay.
Yeah.
So like I had defeated every single bot possible except Mr. Hollywood. And I remember like in order for me to find a Mr. Hollywood, I would have to do like an insane like skyscraper build or something like that, or they would have like invasions every once in a while. And I was so close to like 100% like all the enemies I could defeat on Ginger Bagel Muffin, and someone got jealous and decided that, you know, Ginger Bagel Muffin didn't need to exist anymore, and then just happened to, what was it? Delete my character. my character so you can make another one. Do you want to explain yourself there?
Okay, first of all, I was 7. Okay,
oh my god.
7 years old.
The age gets younger and younger every time she says.
I was 7. I always point out that I was 7. I was 7 years old, okay. And I was addicted to Toontown. And yes, what I did was terrible, but I was like 7 years old, right? And my sister was way farther in the game than I was, and I got jealous. And we shared the same account. Like, it's the same account, but you, like, can have multiple characters on the same account. So I just deleted her character. And then I ran outside and hid.
Oh boy, when I found out, and this is not the only time she's done this. Okay, if it was a one-off, if she had said it was an accident, maybe I would have believed her. But what about Lego Star Wars? You deleted that save as well.
Remember Lego Star Wars? I don't even remember doing that.
I
remember Toontown. I don't remember deleting Lego Star Wars.
You did Lego Star Wars. And you also, let's not forget, Ty the Tasmanian Tiger.
That was an accident. Ty the Tasmanian Tiger was an accident. Because I was trying to, I didn't realize, I was young, okay? I didn't understand how games worked, okay? I was trying to double save your game. I didn't realize that I could save over other slots, like overwrite. I didn't realize that overwriting with the different save was a thing, okay? Forgive me. That one was an accident. I didn't do that on purpose.
Okay, I could forgive you for Lego Star Wars because that game's amazing. I replayed it anyway. I could also forgive you for Ty the Tasmanian Tiger too, but my poor Ginger Bagel Muffin. I can never forgive you for poor Ginger Bagel Muffin. She was innocent.
I know.
She was saving the world.
I know.
And you did it out of spite.
I did it out of spite. I was just purely jealous.
Yeah. There's so many games that we played together as kids thinking about it.
Well, so Toontown Online, actually Disney removed it before Club Penguin.
Mm-hmm.
Cause like it doesn't exist anymore, but you can find like re-uploaded versions of it online. It's a multiplayer online game, and like somebody like re-uploaded it.
Toontown rewritten.
Yeah,
I think they just like
There's multiple other ones too, but that's the main one that most people use. I play on that one, and now I have almost every gag in the game, so I'm even farther than Ginger Bagel Muffin was.
Maybe when I come over next time, your character will happen to disappear. And see how you like it.
I will sue you!
Yeah, but honestly, like, I say I probably liked Club Penguin more so than Toontown. Like, I liked Toontown.
No, I totally disagree with that.
But when you deleted my character, I was like, screw this. And I went and I started playing Club Penguin at the time. So many people I knew at the time, like, played Club Penguin, though, too. Like, I remember, like, having, like, a giant, like, school meetup group. You know, like on Club Penguin, which was interesting.
Adorable.
But I mean, yeah, that Club Penguin was pretty cool, and now that's gone. And I don't know if they tried to make like some sort of like app version of it before they deleted it completely. But I think recently they completely shut down Club Penguin. Big rip.
I used to be I was never that into Club Penguin, but I remember they had like spy missions, and I was super into the spy missions. I loved those.
Oh, with the like, there was like they built the ninja like what's it, a dojo or something like that, and then if you like pass like this certain like
well, that was a separate thing.
That was a separate thing.
Yeah,
I thought
that was a separate thing, but that was cool too. But no, I was obsessed with the spy thing.
Maybe you played it more when I was done with it.
All I really remember was doing the spy thing. That's like all I remember. I just loved the spy mini games.
I remember there was like a coffee shop area, and you could go play like games, like checkers,
like arcade games.
Yeah, arcade games.
I remember that.
And there was Connect 4, and I would literally sit there and play Connect 4 over and wait.
They also had what's it called, Moncala, the one with like the little.
Oh my god,
like,
I loved that game as a kid.
Yeah,
that may not be a video game, but that's definitely a throwback. Mm-hmm. And they had Puffles.
I loved Puffles.
You were obsessed.
Oh my gosh! One time, my sister and I were on a Disney cruise, like in the Caribbean, and I remember that we were obsessed with collecting pins, and they're like, you know, it's a Disney cruise, so like they have like a bunch of pin shops within the cruise ship, and I remember we each bought like 10 Puffle pins. Do you remember that?
I bought a whole Puffle collection, so I don't know.
Yeah, so we bought like Puffle collection pins.
Yeah, and I ended up like, and they were like, I have way more pins now than I did back then. That's where I actually started my pin collecting, probably on that cruise. I think I was also just bored as a child. So I was like, pin collecting was like a good way to like keep me entertained. Like going around to the different shops on the cruise ship and collecting pins. But nowadays, like the Puffle pins like are worth money. Like, people want them. People are like, we want the Puffles, especially now that the game's gone. So, I have mine all, like, in a little box, ready to sell one day or trade for some awesome Kim Possible pin that I don't have yet.
See, I took all my pins, and I have this one denim jacket, and the front is just decked out with all the pins that I own.
It's really cool.
It's really nerdy. It's really cool. A majority of them are Disney pins, but I also have stuff from, like independent artists who made enamel pins or like other things.
You have patches, a lot of cool patches.
And then on the back, I have patches. I have a ton of patches. Most of them I got from Hot Topic.
Didn't you just bring that when we just went to the beach last week? We didn't really on the beach.
I brought it with me.
But I saw it, and it looks pretty nice. I think you wore it when we went to Disney World.
It's not the most comfortable jacket, obviously, because there's, you know, a bunch of pin backings in it and stuff. So it's a denim jacket. It's honestly not that comfortable. It's not like lined with like fuzz or anything.
A lot of people, what they do is have vests more than jackets. Like when I went to Disneyland all the time when I was an annual pass holder, and even when I worked in Walt Disney World, I would see people walk around with vests, like denim vests, so that way it didn't like touch their arms. It would just be like the front and the back, so that way it was more comfortable, and they were like covered with pins. And I'm like, God, that must be like so heavy though. Like your jacket in general is heavy, and you don't even have a whole bunch of pins on there.
Yeah, the jacket with all the pins is really heavy.
Yeah. When you think your childhood games, what do you think?
Okay, so one of my childhood games is actually my favorite game of all time, and I feel like I talk to my sister about it a lot, and I think it's just, I don't know how much of it is nostalgia factor and how much of it is just like the game itself. My favorite game of all time is the Tasmanian Tiger 2. My number one favorite game.
Really?
Yeah.
Even to this day?
You should know that. I talk about it all the time.
I know you do, but you played a lot of games. I didn't know it was specifically Ty. But
let me look up when
you
did
play Ty one time on your stream,
right?
So
I played the first one once on stream because they released it on Switch. It came out 2004. So it's an oldie, you know. We used to play it.
Goodie.
It's oldie but a goodie. We used to play it all the time. Not a lot of people know about it. It didn't get as popular as like Crash Bandicoot or anything.
Mm-hmm.
So it never got like a remake, but I love it. I replay it literally every year on my Xbox 360. Again, it's hard for me to know, like, do I love it so much just because of the nostalgia? Because every time I play it, I get huge amounts of nostalgia.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah, right? But I think it's also just a really fun game. Like, I love the mechanics of it, and I never get bored of it, even though, like, I know literally everything about the game. So I really wish they would remake it like they remade Crash Bandicoot.
Yeah, honestly, I wish they would, like, remake so many more, like, nostalgic games. But I'm also really excited for new and current games. Because there's sometimes where I'm like, I want remakes. But then there's a lot of times where I'm like, God, I don't want any remakes when it comes to, like, think about, like, all the newer, like, Disney movies that are coming out that are, like,
live-action Disney movie remakes are trash.
Yeah, we should probably do a podcast specifically on that.
We should! Oh, God. The only one that I liked was Beauty and the Beast. The rest were, like, terrible. And Cinderella, actually. That's just because it had my Bay Lily James in it.
No.
I want to marry Lily James.
Yeah, honestly, I'll have to leave that, but I just have to say, like, the Cinderella one was good.
I love the Cinderella one.
I do love Lily James as well. It also had the guy who played Robb Stark from Game of Thrones, and that was also a great choice. I was a prince. But yeah. Also, like, God, making me... Well, they did do a lot of remasters. Sometimes I don't like the remasters of childhood games. Like, do you remember... I don't know if you played original Battlefront, like Star Wars Battlefronts that much.
I did play Battlefront.
Okay,
yeah,
so that was probably...
I would play it as the Sith side.
Of course you would.
I love
So would you be the Empire or the Separatists?
Empire.
Do you know what the difference is?
No, I don't.
Okay, the Separatists are the robots. The robot ones, you know? And
well, I mean, you have at first you can only play as robots. And then if
we did like death matches. We didn't do the storyline.
I know. When you did a battle game, if you played on the Sith side, there were only robots to choose from, and if you did really good and you accumulated all the points, then you could play as, like, the Emperor.
No, that's not how it worked.
That is how it worked!
When you did, like, a death match, you could choose who the two sides were. You could either have, like, the Rebels and the Empire, or you could have the Republic and the Separatists. Sissy.
And the separate, they were together.
No,
they were together. I don't know what you're talking about.
There's no way. Okay, it doesn't make any sense for you to go into the. Are you talking about you switch to like
I'm talking about
a stormtrooper
2 game that we played all the time when we were kids?
I know. Battlefront 2 or 1?
2.
Okay,
that was our childhood one.
Okay,
we played 2, didn't we?
I played 1. 2 we had, but the only difference really was Battlefront 2, you were able to be, like, the Jedi. Which I guess was kind of fun. But OG Battlefront 1 was my favorite, I have to say. But yeah, they made remakes, which I haven't played. It's actually been on my list to rebuy Battlefront 2, the new one. No, because, like, honestly,
I don't know which one it was.
Sissy, with Battlefront 1 or 2, doesn't matter unless I'm, like, totally spacing. If you started a death match, like, in one match, you can't start off as a robot and then halfway through the same match turn into the Empire. What you could...
The Emperor! Like, remember when you chose the good side, you play a character, and if you accumulate enough points, then you can play as one of the Jedi characters, right?
Then you were playing the Empire side, and then, yes, you could be the Emperor.
Yes, that's what I'm saying!
You can't be the robots and then turn into Emperor, because those are...
Yes, you can! I did it multiple times!
Oh, I swear, if you could, but, like... I'm pretty sure it was like you'd be Darth Maul or something like that instead, because Those are separate. We didn't.
Okay, no,
those
I
are
remember
different.
who
You're thinking you're
specifically-
mixing the
I don't remember
prequels
who
and your.
specifically I played, but I remember that if you played as robots, you would accumulate points, and then you could play as one of the Sith people.
The Sith people.
The Sith people. I don't know.
Sith people.
One of the Sith people.
Oh, you could play. Oh, it was Jango Fett.
I remember playing
Because
as
that
Jango
was
Fett
the Separatist
and
era.
Darth Maul and the Emperor. I
getting
remember
the
playing as all
eras
of them.
mixed up. You're getting the eras mixed up.
I'm not getting the eras mixed up.
Yes, you are.
Nuh-uh.
The Emperor wasn't around really in the prequels during the Separatist times. He was in the background, Darth Sidious. In the background, he was not the Emperor at the time because there was no Empire. It was still the Republic. Okay, this is. Well, I'm wondering how Father's gonna think when he hears this, but yeah. So I'm pretty sure because he wasn't evil. Like you didn't know. Spoiler alert for anyone who doesn't know the Star Wars universe, but you don't know if you only watch the prequels. Palpatine isn't evil. So it wouldn't make sense for you to play as the Separatist robots and then when you get enough points, you're like, I don't know what it was called, like special character that you could play. Didn't make sense to be the Emperor. If you played the Empire, started off as stormtroopers, and then you gained enough, then it would make sense. You could have also been Darth Vader. Don't do the hand motion talky thing to me. You're getting things mixed up. You knew that, like, Palpatine was, like, always bad, but he was in the background. He wasn't, like, yeah, you did see him once covered, but he wasn't, like, actively there. I would say either it was probably Count Dooku. Honestly, either Count Dooku or Jango Fett were probably the ones that you could do. But yeah. So you're wrong. I'm right. So we'll just you don't know the Star Wars universe.
More expertise, so
Yeah.
Sure, I'll just go with whatever.
Oh, yeah, or Grievous. You could have been
General
Grievous.
Grievous was my favorite. He was
It's
my
true.
favorite. He was
It's
my
true.
favorite.
You
General
probably
Grievous,
could be
he's my
General
favorite.
Grievous then.
my
Honestly,
favorite.
I feel like we should look this up. Battlefront.
I remember playing against him in Lego Star Wars, which was also a childhood game. I don't remember playing as Grievous in Battlefront, though. I don't think you could. I don't remember that.
Okay, let's see. No ads. Why is there a whole bunch of things?
What else? What else do you consider? What's a Star Wars? What is your childhood game that is not a Star Wars game?
Yikes, that's a tough.
You have to have something.
That's a tough question. Oh my god, this is gonna be kind of embarrassing, but you know that that Disney princess game. Yeah, I was like obsessed with that game.
I that one.
Oh my god.
Oh my gosh. Okay, yeah. So we had this. I don't even remember what it's called exactly, but yeah, we had a Wii, and it was this Disney princess game, and like you create your own princess character, right? And it was multiplayer, so like we would both play, right? No, the first one wasn't multiplayer. No, it was. Was it multiplayer? I think it was. I think it was multiplayer.
The Disney princess game?
Yeah.
You could have two people.
You could.
Yeah.
Okay. So then we would play it, right? And like you create your own princess character, and you have to go into like the Cinderella world, and you have to go into like the Snow White world and the Beauty and the Beast world, and you have to like rescue the princesses. And like I remember we were obsessed with this game. Okay, we were obsessed with this game when we were kids. I have a very specific memory though.
Oh dear God. Oh God! Please don't be the memory.
My sister here is the older sister. She's the older sister, right? Wait, what are you thinking of?
Oh no, it's yours. I bet you it's the exact same one.
Okay, well, so my sister's the older sister, right? So she's bossy. That's just how it goes, right? So, like, she would always have me watch her play. Like, it would never be the other way around. Like, I always had to watch her play, right? And so one time she was playing. See, this is why I feel like maybe it wasn't such a two-player, because why wouldn't we be playing together? Anyways, we were playing the game, and I remember I was watching you play it, and you said that you were hungry, and you told me to go make you a sandwich, and I don't know why, but I said, okay, and I went, and I made my sister a sandwich as she sat on, like, this chair throne that we had, and I gave her the sandwich on her little throne as she plays the Disney Princess game, and I sit on the couch and watch. Is that what you were thinking of?
Yeah, but you made a pretty bad sandwich, if I remember correctly.
I made it exactly the way you asked. We threw like 5 pounds of mustard.
I do love mustard. I have an obsession with mustard. Yeah, that was a memory I was thinking of too. Just being like, Sissy, get me a sandwich, which is so bad. Like nowadays, thinking about that, I'm like, yikes. But I was definitely a bossy sister.
And then I was like the annoying sister.
Yeah, you would throw hardcover books at my face.
I was annoying and rude.
Okay, at least I didn't throw hardcover books at your face.
It's true.
Yeah, that happened, guys. It happened.
We have a video of my sister walking away from me, and I'm following her, talking non-stop. When I was a kid, I would not shut up. And I would just follow my sister around, talking and talking and talking. And she would tell me to shut up. And I'd be like, nope. And I'd keep talking and talking and talking and talking. And then Kendra would turn to, Mom and Dad and be like, Mom, Dad, she's being annoying. And they were like, yeah, she is. You deal with her. And so I would just keep following her around and talking and talking and talking.
Okay, so my sandwich then was made up for that. So just saying that it was my reward for dealing with the constant talking. And now look at how the tables have turned and I'm the one talking more. But I'm also just like, I did cheers, so I think my voice just kind of projects more. And so I talk over people. Whoopsies.
Good job. Okay, another childhood game I remember that we both played was Viva Pinata.
Oh, dude. Yeah, that's true. We were obsessed for a while. But I
replayed that too.
I'm pretty sure you deleted one of my saves in there, too. One of my gardens.
That's false.
I'm pretty sure you did.
No, now you're just making stuff
No,
up.
I'm not making stuff up. I'm like, I swear to God, I had something that was deleted.
No.
I never got my lion that I wanted. I stopped before I got the lion. Rip. But that game was fun.
So that one I don't replay it as often as Tasmanian Tiger 2.
Because that one's like a constantly going game.
But I do replay it like every few years because there's like so much to do. Like I've never actually 100% completed the game because it's just so long. It is so long. There's so much to do. I've never fully completed it, but it was really fun. It's kind of like, for those who don't know, Viva Pinata, I would definitely recommend you check it out. It's like Pokemon, but in a garden. Kind of like Pokemon in a garden, right? It's like Pokemon, kind of. Yeah.
Pokemon aren't like actual animals, while Viva Pinata is based on actual animals.
But they're not actual. Well, Pokemon's based on actual animals like too. Pokemon is like flying squirrels and cats and dogs and stuff.
Really?
Fun fact, none of us played Pokemon in our childhood. I don't know why that was. Because we both had, like Game Boys and then DSs. I don't know why we never played Pokemon.
What? Yeah. I'm trying to think. I liked like the Nintendo dog games, you know what I mean? And the cat games where you would take care of a whole bunch of... That was like everything on my DS. And my Game Boy, I would play like... There was like this one Scooby-Doo game and there was a Kim Possible game. And I remember playing those a lot. But yeah, I didn't honestly play any Pokemon. I think there was one like... Was it Yu-Gi-Oh! I think game that I had. And I couldn't figure it out. So I got angry and I just gave up and stopped. That sounds like me.
The games I remember playing, I remember stealing. You had like this makeup, dress up game. I remember stealing it from you. Like you have I think maybe there's two separate games. One's a makeup and one's like a fashion one. There's one where it's like you own a store and people come in and you design their outfit.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
I was obsessed with that game.
I would steal it from her and play it.
I got that for Christmas one year. I remember. And I was like absolutely obsessed. The memories.
I actually played that one in high school, and I thought it actually wasn't that bad. I loved replay games. Yeah, I did. It actually wasn't that bad. It was actually kind of fun.
I always thought it was cool to be like a store owner and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And like mannequins and all that.
Yeah. And then I also remember there was a Tyler Tasmanian Tiger game for the DS. I remember playing that one. And then there was like a Scooby-Doo game as well that we had. I remember playing that. I also had a Nightmare Before Christmas. The oldest one I remember playing is this Toy Story one that we had on the Game Boy. And I actually found it recently, but I don't have a Game Boy anymore, so I can't play it.
Really? Okay. I'm not going to replay that because I'm like tired of Toy Story at the moment after watching it over and over and over again when I nanny. It's literally all that Caleb wants to watch. It drives it crazy. But yeah, do you remember the Kim Possible game where like at one point you had to be like and then you had to like go through like the vents? I would get so peeved with that. I think at one point I had to give it to my dad to finish it.
It's a hard game, actually. I remember trying to play it too, and it was hard. It's one of those games where it didn't even save your progress. You had to use like a passcode. It was old. It was an oldie.
It's an older game.
But I remember it being good. Yeah, it wasn't bad.
God, there's just so many games that like I forget about sometimes that I played. It's hard to think because it's like I have proof. Like when there was a picture taken of me, I've actually posted it on my Instagram, but like I think Dad took a picture of me or something, but I was like really young and I was playing a game on his old PC. So I've been playing games for a really, really long time. And you have too. I think you got it started on games really early. I mean, it kind of started off with us doing more of like the educational games, which I think that's how it always does. But then we like played games really early on. Like I would say my very first game I probably ever played that wasn't. Oh wait, I just got off topic. But the first game was probably Battlefront, like the OG Battlefront, because I was like obsessed with it. That was probably my first. Well, it's not first person, is it? It's third person, but it's technically kind of a shooter game. I don't know necessarily what. I think I don't know, but yeah, and then that led me into playing Call of Duty, World at War, and Nazi Zombies.
Okay, I remember playing Call of Duty when I was actually really young.
Yeah,
I remember that. When did the first one come out?
I remember Mom
would be like... Is that old enough to call it a childhood game?
World at War? I would say that's a relatively older one.
Oh, it came out in 2003?
Yeah, that's an older one.
What? So then, yeah, that was one of my childhood games.
Yeah, like, I remember playing that kind of nonstop. I could even remember some of the maps when I, like, think about it. But before I moved to PC, I played a lot of Call of Duty. And then once I got to PC... I stopped playing first-person shooters and Call of Duties in general because I was opened up to kind of like more games than that. But yeah, oh my god, playing World at War. We played Nazi Zombies for hours.
Oh yeah, I remember that. I have this one memory of being in like 5th grade and some boys were talking about Call of Duty and I was like, I play Call of Duty too. And the boys turned to me and they're like, girls don't play video games.
Yikes.
Like, yes, I do. And I told them about my favorite guns, and they were like, "You're just pretending."
Yeah,
I was so offended.
That I mean, stuff like that. That was actually like the least of like the bad. I feel like them just being like, I got times where like I remember when we first like got a headset for Xbox Live, and I used comms. And here's this, like, young girl talking on comms. I would get kicked from, like, every game immediately when it started. It would be so sad. Everyone would, like, vote me out or kick me or whatever, you know. Because I sounded like this tiny little girl trying to play Call of Duty. All these, like, older guys or, like, teenagers were probably just like, oh, God. Just
get the kid out of here.
But, you know, I was relatively pretty good at the game. Just have to say. Though Mom was just like, oh, my God. Like... with us playing the games in general and, like, loving them so much. I remember when she hid Battlefront 2. Like, she hid it in the room because she thought that it would make us, like, be really, like, aggressive people. Little did she know. I mean...
Oh, yeah! I remember that.
Yeah. Little did she know, I was born a redhead, so I was already going to be an aggressive, angry person. So there was no stopping that. But she would have to do that all the time. She would have to hide games because they would make us rage or, like, make us angry. Like, she hid your Coraline game. Do you remember that?
No! You want to know what happened with my Coraline Wii game? You want to know what happened? Okay, so, I couldn't ride my bike, right? Like, I didn't know how to ride my bicycle, right? And my parents tried to teach me how, and I couldn't figure it out, right? And one day, we went and bought this Coraline video game for the Wii, okay? And I was so excited to play it. But my dad was like, you can only play it if you learn how to ride your bicycle. And I couldn't figure out how to ride my bicycle. So my dad threw the game away, and I started crying. The only way to get me to stop crying was to actually go outside so I could actually freaking learn how to ride the bike so I could play my stupid Coraline Wii game. And you know what? It actually worked. I learned how to ride my bike.
She did.
But I'm still traumatized about it.
But no, like he went back and got it.
It
was just a motivation.
It was a motivation. We dug it out of the trash. I played it. It was fine.
It was fine.
It was fine.
Oh my God, that was funny. And then I swear there was another game that had to be, like, hid because either we would argue over it. Oh my God, that wasn't, honestly, this wasn't too long ago. We probably were old enough, we should have known better. But we argued so much over the Pirates of the Caribbean Lego game.
It's a multiplayer game.
But we would argue about it because we would want to play on each other's accounts to get them, like, 100%.
You know why we would argue about it? Because you always demanded to be player one. You always demanded to be God forbid, I wanted to be player one for once. That is what caused the argument.
Well, I'm the older sibling, so thus I get to be player one because I was born first. So obviously that makes me number one, aka number one sibling, because I was first. So logically that made sense. And I wanted to be Jack. So you could be, you know, Gibbs or something like that, and I could be Jack, you know. So, but yeah, Mom had to, like, take that away from us because we were arguing so much about it. Didn't we even, like, on a trip, we brought the Xbox so you and I could play it? Like, there was a hotel room.
I don't remember that.
And there was, like, a TV, and I'm pretty sure we brought it, and we were still arguing. And it was like,
that we would fight over Viva Pinata because that's not a 2-player game, and so Mom would, like, set a timer. I remember she would set a timer, like, on the oven for, like, an hour. Yeah, she would set a timer for an hour. You would get to play it for an hour, and then I was supposed to play it for an hour. But we both wouldn't want to stop playing it, so then we'd start fighting, like, oh, it's my turn to play. No, I want to keep playing. And so Mom just got tired, and I remember sometimes she would then hide Viva Pinata.
Yeah. Oh my God. There was a lot of arguing in our childhood, let's be honest. Siblings. Like, when it came to fighting over video games, because we both loved video games just so much in general. But yeah, honestly, I would say a majority of my childhood games are Star Wars based. Yeah. Like, I love Star Wars. If it isn't obvious to those who are currently here with my my awesome Starry Night, Star Wars World Tapestry.
KOTOR 2, Battlefront 2, Lego Star Wars. I wasn't into KOTOR, I was into Battlefront, apparently not as much as you were, because I don't remember all the details. But Lego Star Wars, we did play a lot. I remember playing a lot of Lego Star Wars.
Yeah, and we had, like, the original ones. At the time, when I was growing up, my favorite Star Wars movie was, oh my god, the second prequel. I'm, like, losing it. I'm gonna get yelled at. I don't really watch the prequels as much anymore. Attack of the Clones. Oh my god. But that was my favorite movie as a kid. More so because I think I was just like a hopeless romantic kid, and I was like, ooh, like romance, you know. So that was my favorite, and I remember playing the Lego Star Wars like over and over and over again, but only like wanting to play Attack of the Clones, like the second movie. Like all I wanted to do, and there was like, you know, that robot building scene, like having to go through there. It was like in the factory on Geonosis. Yeah. I would play that one over and over and over again.
I remember that area actually.
Yeah. God, that was like my favorite movie. And now as a kid, or oh my God, as an adult watching it, I'm like, God, this is my favorite one? Really? Because now mine's Empire Strikes Back all the way. Just saying. But I'll go more on
I liked Force Awakens, but then The Last Jedi is a rant for another day.
Yeah.
We need to do a Star Wars episode. Maybe our next episode should be Star Wars.
Honestly, we should see if people want to do like a guest, like be like guest speakers. We can have them just like on audio in the call or something too, and get other people's input, because I feel like with Star Wars there's so many people that we talk to that are like obsessed with Star Wars just as much as I am.
Yeah, so my sister is extremely obsessed with Star Wars. I like Star Wars, but I never really got that into it. I don't know why. I just never really got that into it.
Well, for me, I don't know what it was, but like, well, what I like to think what it was, or like what I assumed it was, is so like my dad always wanted like an older son, right? Always wanted to have a son like right off the bat, you know, to like play baseball, play video games, like watch Star Wars stuff with, like originally at the time. And so like he ended up with me. But he would still do like the same things. I got into baseball, I would play video games, and then literally when I was a kid, I don't remember, but I know my mom telling me that I would literally sit there and he would literally put the original like Star Wars VHS tapes on like repeat, like over and over and over again, sitting there. Like I don't remember like ever kind of like having any new experience with Star Wars. Like I don't. Like I remember like since I could form memories, I kind of already knew everything. Except when the prequels came out, I guess I would find out like new things, but I was still really young. Like when the third prequel came out, I was in first grade. So, and I wasn't allowed to go see it because of the, you know, Count Dooku head choppy thing. My parents thought that was too violent for me. But yeah, I barely like even remember. But I was, even then, like I was still obsessed with Star Wars, even when I didn't like watch it on repeat when I got older as much. Just crazy. Yeah, and what did you watch on repeat?
I don't know. I don't know. Fickle Chef, what did I watch on repeat? Because like I know that you would get obsessed with specific things, but I don't really remember being that obsessed with anything in particular. Like, I would like things, like, I know that you watch Strawberry Shortcake, and I would like to watch Strawberry Shortcake, but I don't remember begging to, like, watch this one thing over and over and over. I know.
Ooh! Making Fiends.
Oh my gosh!
This is turning into Throwback.
Yeah, because I didn't really watch things over and over and over, yeah. Yeah, no, so, yeah, because that's not a video game, so I won't rant about it, but one of my childhood shows was Making Fiends, and it aired on, like, was it Nickelodeon? Airing on TV on something like Nickelodeon. Not for a long time though. You can like find it on YouTube if you're curious. I was obsessed with it. It's a creepy, like animated cartoon, and I really liked
Emphasis on
making scenes.
creepy.
I would watch it over and over all the time. I was super duper obsessed with
And
it.
people ask why I was scared of my younger sister when I was younger.
It was a really creepy show. Look up Making Fiends on YouTube. I was obsessed with it, but it was a creepy show.
Yeah, and now you love playing like all the creepy like horror games as well.
Okay.
Like, I think that's just your genre.
People like to watch me play horror games. There is a difference.
And you like them.
I do like horror games.
Exactly. That was
I like
my point.
Resident Evil.
It's your genre, like kind of like more like dark, grungy goth atmospheres. I don't know what to describe it, but
no, that is like kind of the typical games that I kind of play.
Yeah.
For
I mean,
sure.
you liked Tomb Raider though. See, I never played the OG Tomb Raiders. I've only ever played like the new, I guess they're called either remakes or remasters. I don't know what they're technically called, but I've only played like the newer 3. But
Yeah.
you used to play the old Tomb Raiders, right?
Yes, the old Tomb Raiders are part of my childhood. Like I didn't play them when I was super young, but I did play them. Like man, it was a while ago. It was maybe like 5 years ago. I remember playing I remember playing the older Tomb Raider games. Like the ones that came out like the OG Xbox, but they had released some for like the Xbox 360. Like I remember playing some of those. I do have this one memory. You remember this when I was playing one of the Tomb Raider games, right? And Lara Croft had different outfits, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I was scrolling through the outfits, and we found this one of Laura in like snow gear. So like she's wearing a puffy jacket and like puffy pants, and like you can't really see any of her skin. I remember you being like, "Oh, wear that one. That one's like the most modest, right?"
But then I say most modest. I said that was
modest,
the cutest.
but like the one that's not the most like.
I just thought it was the most
scandalous.
fashionable.
That's false.
That is not false.
Anyways, that's one that you wanted me to pick. But I remember scrolling through and finding one of Laura in a bikini.
It was a American flag bikini, if I remember correctly.
Mm-hmm. And I selected that one, and that's what I wanted to play with, and that was one of my revelation moments. I remember that being one of them.
Yeah, I remember playing that at the cabin. What else? The Ratatouille game. Oh my god!
Guys, I'm obsessed with playing. I love replaying games. Actually, sometimes they say I don't like to replay games. That's false. I actually love replaying games. We had this Ratatouille game that came out on the original Xbox because I remember playing it upstairs. And that one was also single player, so we would switch off between it. But we loved to play this Ratatouille game. And I remember there were like these mini areas where it was like a dream food land. So like Remy would have to climb over like pasta and cheese and stuff. Do you remember that?
This is making me hungry.
Yeah.
Oh god,
that was your
so
favorite.
Fun.
That was fun. I remember
my first experience, I think, with like QuickTime events was during that game. They had that one where you had to do like a QuickTime event on the PS controller, and it was something in the kitchen, had to do with either like pouring water or maybe it was adding like ingredients to the soup or something like that. Do you remember that? And I would get so frustrated because I hated QuickTime events.
Yeah.
Just like I do now. I still suck at them. But I remember that. I remember just how much I like loved that game and like how excited I'd be when I find like a different like food platter with like the entrance to the food worlds. I'd be like, yes. And then another one that we used to play all the time, which we never finish. And this, I think, makes you aggro because you can't finish it. And it's this Scooby-Doo, like, Nights of 100 Frights.
That one I also replay. So my favorite games to replay are, Scooby-Doo, Night of 100 Frights, Viva Pinata, and Ty the Tasmanian Tiger 2. Those are, like, the ones that I replay, like, all the time. Scooby-Doo, Night of 100 Frights, right? Yeah, when we were younger, I sucked at that game. I would play it for hours, and I would barely make any progress. I was a kid, okay? I sucked at games. much hasn't changed. But anyways, I can actually get pretty far now. I was trying to complete it last year. I was replaying it, right? And I tried to get 100% completion on it. Finally, right? I find all the secrets. I'm ready to 100% complete it. I go to do the boss fight. The game crashes. I'm like, what the hell? I restart the Xbox 360. Put it in again. Go to the boss fight. The game crashes. For some reason, this game doesn't have any glitches, but literally every time I enter the boss fight, the game crashes. So I literally cannot finish the game. I literally can't finish it.
I feel like it's because there's a scrape on the disc, because it's an OG disc.
Yeah, it's a really
Xbox
old disc,
game, right? Like OG Xbox.
OG Xbox.
Yeah, so I think it's like, and I remember like when you were replaying it and we were sitting down and you were finally at that like final boss, and like anytime you would try to start it, it would just close on you, and you were like, "What the fuck?"
I was so upset. I need to buy a new disc. I want to buy a new disc of Scooby-Doo.
Or you could just probably like find a download. Like, is it on Steam or something like that? Sometimes the older games are on Steam.
Maybe it's possible. But I remember we would also play the Scooby-Doo games on the PC as well.
Just Scooby-Doo in general, we were obsessed with. I really liked the Egyptian one, which I recently replayed that one, and I finished it in 30 minutes.
Yeah, but now when you play them when you're older, they're kind of short.
Yeah, and they're like super easy to figure out like who the killer is, you know, or not killer. They don't have killers in Scooby-Doo. That's too dark. But, you know, the bad guys or whatever's happening. They never had killers except for the Zombie Island movie. That's the only Scooby-Doo, I think, movie episode that ever had anyone who was, like, an actual killer. But I think they were more, like, sucking, like, life out of people, which I guess counts.
That's creepy.
But, yeah, I was obsessed. There was also the one that was, like, based in China, and I remember...
I know, I was about to bring up that one.
Oh, my God. That was probably our favorite, like, combo, right?
I love, yeah, the one that took place in China, and then there was this one, it was like Scooby-Doo and the Bugman, and it took place in like a museum. That one was also my favorite.
Oh my God, and then you had to do the ice cream.
I remember the ice cream.
Oh my God. See, I feel like I need to like rewatch these. Like I want
to rewatch them on YouTube, because they're so old that we can't replay them.
That would be
none of the systems will allow
that would
it.
actually be really fun to do, I feel like. Because they're just like 30 minutes. They're like one TV show episode, you know, like really quick to like full on finish it. There was also a strawberry shortcake PC game I was obsessed with, and I had recently looked it up.
I remember you remember the oranges where you would have the oranges go down the branches? I remember that. Yeah, I love the strawberry shortcake.
God, that was such a fun game.
Yeah,
I was obsessed with strawberry shortcake. You were never obsessed
with strawberry. I like strawberry shortcake, but yeah, I was never obsessed. I also remember a Beauty and the Beast one that we had, and then I also remember this one that we had of the Land Before Time. You know, with like the dinosaurs.
Okay, I remember the Land Before Time one. Yeah.
The only thing I remember about that video game was like there was this one maze, and like there would be this dinosaur that pops out at you, and I just remember it scaring me so bad that I would stop playing the game. That's like all I remember about that one.
Oh yeah, that does sound like us, doesn't it? I only remember, I like didn't remember the Beauty and the Beast until you said it, and I think the only thing I remember, I like vaguely remembering some stuff, but one thing I specifically remember is you got to paint like the stained glass windows, like you got to choose the colors for it.
Oh yeah,
that's the only thing.
Barbie games too.
Oh my God, yes.
Yeah,
we played also a lot of like online games that were like the
Webkins.
Disney.com. Oh yeah, Webkins was another big one that we like. I still Mom has that giant bin in the garage of like 200 plus Webkins.
We have like 200 Webkins.
We were obsessed, and we still won't get rid. We won't get rid of them.
I don't get rid of any of them.
Yeah, and they're so
cute.
Childhood. Honestly, I don't remember the password, or I bet you like.
No, you want to know what happened with Webkins? I tried to go sign in like a year ago because I was like, I want to revisit my childhood, and I go in and I get the correct login. You know what Webkins tells me? They tell me, oh, you haven't been active in your account for longer than a year, so we deleted your account.
How
No!
dare
Apparently,
they?
if you don't touch your account for a year, they delete it!
That's
My
really
childhood! They
stupid.
deleted it! They deleted it out of
Call
the
them and be
universe!
like, you deleted my whole childhood. How could you do this to me? Demand, I want 200 webkins and I want a brand new account, you know, like, and then maybe they'll just comply. Oh, you were really quiet there for a second.
Oh.
Get closer to your mic.
I was just shouting for a second there.
Oh, and the mic's just like, no, fam.
The mic's
That's
just
not
like,
happening.
stop shouting at me. I'm trying to help out here.
It's like, if you're gonna shout at me, I'm not gonna relay it. Like, talk to me nicer. That is a nice mic, though. I have to say, it looks fancy.
It's very fancy.
But, God, there was so many, like, childhood games. I feel like there was something else that we did with the Beauty and the Beast game.
Like Beauty and the Beast game?
Mm-hmm. That you brought up?
Well, that was one that for some reason I was thinking Cinderella. Yeah, I remember that there was, like, this one section where there was, like, a table. Like, things would fall out of the cabinet and you had to, like, catch them or something like that.
I think that's what I'm trying to think of too.
Yeah.
Or like that I kind of vaguely remember. My God, I feel like after this I'm gonna like go on YouTube and be like on the hunt for all these like games. And oh my God, like other games that I played a whole bunch of like the Disney.com games, like the Kim Possible games that they had on there. And they had, like, Sweet Life of Zack and Cody games. There was also just, like, Polly Pocket games that I would play online, too. And, like, Barbie and just, like, all the, like, general, like, free fun games. Like, now if I tried to go on that, there would be probably tons of viruses. If not, there weren't possibly viruses and stuff in them when I played them before. But I was too young to think about that way. But, yeah, my God. Talking about, like, throwback games are good. I like it. Especially when I get to blame you for deleting all of my previous saves.
I was a snot. Chat's asking about IRL games. I mean, I know that we would go out and play pretend a lot. I remember us going out and playing pretend a lot. But, like, I don't remember us really playing that much, like, tag. I remember, like, when the cousins would come over, I would play hide and seek.
When, like... I played a lot of Dance Central when cousins would come over, like the dancing game, like the game that you played on your charity stream. But honestly, I love Monopoly. Fun fact, I don't know if I said this. Yeah, like Monopoly, I have like maybe over 10 something different Monopoly boards I'm obsessed with. But I love board games. I didn't really play too many of them as a kid. Stratego. Actually is like my childhood board game more so than Monopoly, because Dad and I would like spend hours playing it. And one time I beat our uncle who's like great at Stratego, and I beat him, and I was pretty young. To this day he says that he let me win. I'm like, that's not true. But like going outside and actually doing like games and stuff that way, I felt like I probably never did that just because I was a over anxious child, and I'm like, I don't want to get outside. I don't want to like disappear. I don't want to like, you know, like go outside and play and then like never come back, you know, because I would like at that time I would watch the news like every day with my parents, and that was probably not a smart thing to do as a child.
I went outside and played a lot more than you did.
You did.
I remember going out with like the neighborhood kids and playing like kick the can and stuff. Oh. But I don't remember. But a lot of the time I don't really. I remember the only time I remember playing outside with you was like in the backyard. I don't really remember playing with you with the other neighborhood.
Yeah,
kid.
We had. You guys just took it down, but there was like a swing set in the backyard, and I would like swing like back and forth on it, and I would like pretend. I remember like pretending or imagining that I was like swinging like over the world or something like that. Like now thinking back on it, I was like, God, like how did I even like see that? It's so crazy because now I'm such a realist. But I don't feel like I did like a lot of like make believe or like pretend games like that, honestly, more than like board games. Chutes and Ladders was also another one I feel like you and I
Candyland.
In Candyland.
And Sorry.
I hate Sorry.
She hates Sorry. It makes her very
Yeah,
angry.
with like a burning passion, I hate Sorry. Even though last time I played it, I still won. I still hate Sorry. I like Clue a lot.
Yeah, Clue's pretty good.
I want to get the
I still want to
Scooby-Doo
watch the
Clue
movie.
board. Hmm?
I still want to watch the movie.
Clue? Oh, I've seen the movie. And there's like multiple like endings, which is
Yeah, that's
cool.
what I've heard.
I think that's a cool idea to do. I wonder how they do that when it's like, I think it's on Netflix.
Is it?
I think so. I don't know how they make it so you could like look at the different ones, but yeah. But yeah, you probably childhood wise, like you had a way bigger like imagination than I did, and you did a lot more like going outside or pretend or hang out with your friend Wind.
Very active imagination. I had a lot of imaginary friends. I'd play with my dolls and stuff a lot. So yeah.
Yeah, I remember that. But yeah, I would just say I just played a lot of video games, to be honest, more than anything. Video games were like my childhood than like board games or going outside and playing. But I was just an over anxious kid, so I didn't want to like go outside.
I love going outside. Now that hasn't changed. I'm still an outdoorsy person, and you're not.
I'm still overly anxious, so that didn't change either. You're
Yeah.
like more fearless, and I'm just more like, ooh, about like
I'm more
everything. Huh?
I'm reckless.
Yeah, that's
like
true.
that's probably
And what would be the opposite of reckless? Cautious? I guess I'm cautious.
Yeah,
cautious.
you're cautious.
So we're very opposite in that.
Yeah. We're actually like personality interest wise, I feel like we're like super opposite.
Mm-hmm.
But like I don't know, I would say that we're really close now. When we were younger, we were not that close, I would say. We fought a lot.
Yeah.
But like I think it was once I feel like once I entered high school and like now I was a freshman and you were a senior, I feel like that's when we started like actually becoming friends. No?
I feel like it was after when I left.
When you left?
To go to, when I went to college. And I went to University of Oregon for that one quarter.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was just like far away, and it was kind of more like a wake up call. But no, in high school, I remember like, I mean, we were closer than we were, but we were still weren't close. But I think when I started college, I felt like we were like both kind of more mature, and that's when we clicked a lot more as sisters. But everyone says that. Like I feel like a lot of siblings don't get along until they're older.
Yeah, for sure. Are there any other childhood throwback games you have?
Oh my God, we've talked about so many. I'm trying to
I know.
I've been like constantly like in the back of my mind trying to like think of like childhood games, and we've kind of covered them all, I feel like. Yeah, we already said like Call of Duty Modern Warfare. That was a lot. I didn't really ever play Halo. I think I played it once, but I didn't play a lot of it.
I remember us having Halo, but I never really played it.
Yeah, we had it, but we never played it.
Yeah, I think I pretty much listed everything really though. I mean, obviously, we had a ton of other games too, but not that weren't that impactful. Like I feel like we talked about everything that was like super impactful. I don't know.
We probably played like basic games, but then we would be like bored with them, or we just there's one more, and it was like, but I would get really frustrated with it. It was the Harry Potter Wii game. I think it was like Order of the Phoenix. I remember us playing that a lot, and like that was the first thing I thought of when I saw the trailer for the new like Hogwarts Legacy game. That was the first thing I thought of, was that Wii game that we played. But we played that kind of like, I was in junior high, so I don't necessarily call it like a major throwback, as in like when I was really, really young. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think we've kind of like listed everything, all of our kind of throwback games, and I think this was like cool because now when like I re-listen or like rewatch it, I'm gonna like have like this list of like things to go watch on YouTube and kind of refresh my memory, or I feel like it's starting like a scavenger hunt of trying to find these old games that we vaguely remember but don't know necessarily like the titles or anything about.
I try to find like on YouTube, I try to find like childhood educational games, or when we were like toddler, someone was like 3, and I remember playing like these computer games that were like super educational. I try to find them because I'm still nostalgic about them, but I can't remember what they were at all.
Yeah, there was like this one game I played, but I really can't remember. Like the only thing I can remember is like a basic like a Ferris wheel, and like if it was like a carnival, and that's all I could like remember, and I can't just type into Google carnival childhood education game. Like 2 million of them show up because carnivals were so like woo to kids, So I've had a hard time finding some of the older games because I really vaguely remember most of them. And so, like, if you don't remember or, like, mom or dad don't remember because they had to deal with us playing them all the time, then it's kind of like I feel like I can't find it. That's for sure. Well, yeah. So I think we're at that 1 hour and 15-minute mark. I think that's going to be the end of the podcast, unless you have any more to add on.
Real quick, chat brought up Epic Mickey. Yeah, Epic Mickey was definitely a childhood game that we played.
That's true.
Part of the reason why I love Oswald so much and why I got an Oswald tattoo.
I like Epic Mickey 1 better than Epic Mickey 2.
The problem with Epic Mickey 2 is that it's a 2-player game, and so we would play it, but it was not properly configured for 2 players. So, like, for the boss battles, player 2 can't do anything. Like, player 1
it sucks.
It's the only one that can do anything in the boss battle. So it was, like, terribly configured for 2 players. But yeah, Epic Mickey 1 was super good.
And when we replay it, guess who's player 1? Still me, because I'm still the older sibling. So, but also because you like Oswald, and Oswald's number 2 to Mickey. So
I love Oswald so much.
But yeah, you have to just sit there while I have to defeat the boss, and I'm like,
I know, it's so boring.
Oh my lord. But yeah, I think Epic Mickey 1 we've had that on Wii, while Epic Mickey 2 we have on Xbox. And I liked the Wii version better. But I'm not sure Epic Mickey 1 was multiplayer. But yeah, Epic Mickey 2, it's not split screen, which I wasn't a huge fan of split screen in general. But I feel like there were other games that did kind of having like the 2 people playing in one screen better. Like there was this Incredibles game we played where you could be Frozone and Mr. Incredible.
I loved the Incredibles game.
Which that whole story is void now because of the Incredibles 2 movie. Do you realize that?
I don't remember getting very far, but yeah, I remember you would play Mr. Incredible and I would play as Frozone. And that was a long time ago.
Again, player 1 over here. But yeah, I mean, the only thing is like the way that they have the Epic Mickey 2 set up, it gives me headaches. Like that 2-player system, like my mind just like, it's like I'll be off screen wandering around not sure where I'm going because I can't see because the angle is on you, and then it'll be like on me, and then you're out of the screen and we're like, where are you? I'm over here. What? And you have to buy a whole bunch of like landmarks.
Split screen was like, split screen is kind of annoying because then it's really hard because you have like barely any room to see. But if it's only one screen, then there's like there's like an invisible rope tying you to your partner, and so it's hard to like go anywhere.
I feel like overall, unless you have like you're playing on 2 different like consoles, you're playing on 2 different screens, 2 different PCs, like it's gonna be tough. So I probably like if we have an Xbox here. I mean, if we had, I don't think it has the ability to do the Xbox Live though. Like Epic Mickey, like we couldn't play that way. If we could play that way, I feel like it would have been a lot like more appealing to me versus like both being there.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think that we've pretty much covered everything.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like we went on a lot of tangents about Star Wars, so I feel like we have to have a Star Wars episode, our next one.
Next one could be Star Wars.
We're still officially deciding our day. I know we had vaguely mentioned that we were going to try to do it on Thursdays, but my school schedule kind of changed because classes were dropped since a lot of students right now aren't actually like coming back, because like it's really interesting. But my classes kind of changed, and so Thursday mornings I have a class, and so we're thinking possibly about doing Monday mornings now because I don't have a class till noon, so that gives me plenty of time, and you don't have a class either during that time, right?
Online classes don't have set times.
Yours don't? Oh, we have a lot of synchronous classes where we have to be in there during Zoom.
We're not doing Zoom. They just throw assignments at us, so we just have to complete it by a certain day.
Dude, I'd much rather do it that way. Nice. Yeah, but so that works out. So then we'll probably start doing it then on Mondays, and then it works out because then it's like you're doing all your streams in one go, like 4 days in a row, you know? And then mine's just going to be more sporadic, but we'll see. Okay, do you want to do the outro or?
I did intro, you do outro.
I don't know how to do the outros though.
Just
You're
say
so
bye.
much better at this. I guess so. I'd be like, thank you guys for listening in, and for anyone who showed up during the live recording of the podcast. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and we look forward to our next one. Make sure to check out our socials, !socials, in the chat, and then you will be able to catch up with us. If you have any suggestions on future topics, we do have a topic suggestion box down in the panels. Don't be afraid to put it there, or you could even put it in one of our Discord servers. We have a podcast section in both of our Discords. Yeah, I hope you guys have an amazing rest of your day, and thank you for stopping by. Bye.